Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Clopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and moderating the chat room is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what, Jamin? This week I got my first ever flat tire. Congratulations. You are getting older every week. My goodness.
Thank you.
Okay.
So basically, there were 3 nails in my tire that gouged like a huge hole in the tire.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was in a Trader Joe's parking lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thankfully, I had somebody with me who knew how to change the tire with my spare. I got really, really lucky because I don't know how to do that. One of my goals for this summer is to learn how.
There you go.
But, yeah, and I learned a lot. And I was
Okay.
like, how is it flat?
So 3. That's impressive.
But,
I think the most I've ever had is 2.
Yeah.
So way to go. Maybe the other ones were hanging out in there for a while, or
I have no idea.
All right.
It felt very sudden, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think I've been dealing more with flat bike tires recently than car tires. Thankfully.
Oh, that's not fun either.
Yeah. We were on a bike ride and we were going to Safeway to get candy and but whatever, you deal with it. So
yeah, good times.
This song that we're doing today is the one that plays at the beginning. Oh, hi, buddy. Yeah, we'll move it along. Don't worry. Kloppel wants us to keep on moving. So the song that plays at the beginning of like all the movies and stuff. So it's the 20th Century Fox theme, and the thing that I played at the beginning, if that seemed intimidating, don't worry about it. I'll show you how to play all those notes. We're gonna start on a G, and actually, if we take a look at the patterns here, at the end we've got these things that just like go up. So it's like ba-da-da-da, all those ones right there. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Those ones are almost the same every time, so that won't be too bad. And then the rest of it, you can see like everything's purple, which means everything's like kind of the same note. So we're gonna play a G. In order to find a G, you're gonna take any group of 3 black notes, like these ones right here, any group of 3, doesn't matter which group of 3 you pick, and take the middle note and just drag it down a little bit until you land on a white note. You'll land on a white note right there. That right there is a G. Now, I'm not going to use that G. I'm actually going to use this G up here on this group of 3 black notes. Take the middle note, drag it down just a little bit, and I'll land on a G. So I'm going to start on this one, and then we're going to play 4 of those in a row. Probably saying the words out loud will help. This is the song. Now, these are really, really fast notes. So if you try to play it, and when you try to play it, like the note doesn't always come out, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Just try to play it. This is the song. Like you would clap it. This is the song. This is the song. Then we're gonna go back and forth between that one and the one right next to it. We're gonna call this one A flat because it's slightly lower than what would be A. Hang on. In case this is your first lesson, let me go back a little bit. G is the last note in the musical alphabet. So the musical alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's why if we're on a G, the next note over is an A, because we'd go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so G and A are right next to each other. That's weird. Here's the second weird thing. This note in between them, this is called an A flat because it's slightly lower than A. We could also call it slightly higher than G. Yeah, that'd be fair. So we'd call it like G sharp. But in this case, we called it A flat. So we're calling this note right here A flat. All the music theory aside, you just gotta play this note and the one right next to it. So we're gonna play these ones back and forth. We're gonna start on this one, and we're gonna say, and it says that the moo. Okay, cool. Try that back and forth. Starting on the black note, there you go. And it says that the moo. And it says that the moo. And it says that the moo. Okay, cool. So then all of that together would be like this. This is the song, and it says that the moo. Cool. Let's keep going. A lot more G's, and we get to say all these words here. V is on its, same note, about to begin. So all of those are G. Yeah, I know it doesn't really sound like a song yet. Don't worry. It'll change here in just a little bit. But it's all G's except for that little part that goes back and forth, and it says that that's the only part that changes off of the G in the almost like the first line and a half. This is the song, and it says that the movie is on, it's about to begin. And then we want to come up to a G. We need 2 notes below it. So we're gonna use this one and this one. We're gonna scoop up to it. So we're gonna skip from this one down to this note, happens to be called an E, and that's on the word so. So we just finish up all those G's on gin. We're gonna play so, let's, please, and we're back up to the G, and then a bunch more G's. Find a seat. Okay, cool. So it's almost entirely G's, along with your track that does not really sound like 20th Century Fox. So if I were you, I would just play this song without the track. But you gotta try it a couple times with the track to make sure you have the rhythms right. It'd be something like this. And a 2. And a 1, 2, ready, go. This is the song, and it says that the movie is on. It's about to begin, so let's please find a seat. Okay, cool. So then that's going to take some practice to get all of those rhythms right, to remember where that thing happens and where that thing happens. So if you don't have it down yet, that's perfectly fine. That just means you're a regular, normal human being, and we need to practice this thing. But I want to show you the next part so that when you come back to this video later on, you'll have some instruction on this thing right here. So we want to, from this note, we're going to skip down, and we're going to skip down, but we're going to play those in reverse also. So it's like we're going to scoop up to the G like we did before, but instead of scooping up with steps, we're going to scoop up with skips like that. So we got to go all the way down to this note. It happens to be called a C, and then skip up and skip up. If we do it correctly, we will land on that G, and then we'll pass by the G by one note. No time to wait is the words for those ones right there. But I'm still kind of in my mind thinking about this G. This is kind of still the most important note. No time to wait. And then we're going to play all of the notes starting on D right here. So before we scooped down to the C, now we're gonna go down to that lowest note, but go up one, and that's gonna be the beginning of this next line. And it's just to skip all the way through. Don't even have to worry about what the G or anything like that. Just all those. D, F, A, and C, and we're gonna say the words, "This will be great." Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go back and try all of that with the track. Now, if you're in the archives, I recommend you pause the video right now and you practice this all up until you think, yeah, I've got it, and then unpause it so you can see if you actually do. But if you're live with us, just get all the notes that you can. Just play a bunch of G's, because that's the majority of the song anyway right now. But maybe try to say the words along with me as we go. With the track, let's go. And a 2. And a 1, 2, here we go. This is the song, and it says that the movie is on. It's about to begin, so let's please find a seat. Now we go down to the seat. No time to wait. Then this will be great. Okay, cool. Then the last thing that we're gonna do is almost the exact same thing as that, except this note right here. Okay. This will be our last time through. Fortunately, we did get to all of the notes, so don't worry, Clapple. We'll move on in just a second. But first, these were the notes you just played once you have the whole thing down to the third line, and then all we got to do is change this A to an A flat, just like we did before. So we're gonna play the exact same notes, but this time an A flat instead of an A, and those would be the last notes. Just don't be late. Just don't be late. Okay, cool. So that's all of the notes. Get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the ones that you miss. The last note's gonna be a C. If you can get to that note by the end, that'd be cool. But get a bunch of G's, because you can find a G. No problem. Let's go. 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, go. This is the song, and it says that the movie is on. It's about to begin, so let's please find a seat. No time to wait. This will be great. Just don't be late. And then the movie begins. Yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna have more time to practice this when we get into levels 2, 3, 4, and 5. But for right now, Kendra, tell us about our weekly activity.
This week is the Flutes and Ladders, and it's a game just like Chutes and Ladders, but of course with Kloppel and his dad. When you play, just tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points from our mascot penguin Kloppel.
Yeah, I was just playing that one the other day. Let's play a different game though right now called Higher or Lower. So I'm gonna play you 2 notes for today's game, and you just gotta tell me, is the second note higher or lower than the first note? So for example, you can still see what I'm doing right here. If I go this direction, those are higher notes. If I go this direction, those are lower notes. So if I played something like this, then the second note was higher than the first note. But we're gonna make this a little bit harder on you, and we're gonna have you compete head to head against Kendra. We're not gonna let you see any of these keys here. So I'm gonna play you 2 notes, and you just have to do it by listening. Those same 2 notes again, if you close your eyes and listen, you can kind of hear the second note is higher than the first note. So get as many of these as you can. We're going to try 3 of these and see if you can get the correct answer before Kendra does. Here we go. Here's our first set of notes. Does the second note sound higher or lower than the first one? Kendra, what do you think?
The first thing I noticed was that the second note sounded louder, and then I was like, wait a second, I think it's lower.
Yeah,
and
it is lower.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Good job. Yeah, cool. All right, so one more of these. How about this right here? Oh, sorry, I'll be quiet this time. Second note higher or lower than the first note? What do you think, Kendra?
Higher?
The second note was higher than the first note. Yeah, okay, good job. And it also might help if you try to sing along with these, because a lot of times, like, you'll sing a note and then you'll try to sing the second note and you're like, oh, I can't reach it, it's too high. And then you know that it went up. Or the opposite, like you sing a note and then you sing a note, I can't reach that, that's too low. Then they probably went down. Okay, last one, here we go. What do we think? Is the second note higher or lower than the first? I'll give you one more chance on this one. Kendra, what do you think?
It made me want to like do this with my head, so I'm gonna say lower.
Yeah, absolutely. So the second one was lower than the first. Hopefully you got some of those right, but if not, that's all right, because it's time to move on to mailbag right now.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from Crow Rocks 1800, who says, Dear Jamin, how long have you been teaching piano? Well, I've been teaching piano since I was 13. So that was years ago. And I've been doing this, though, Kids on Piano Live, for about 8 years. So probably the way that you meant it, I've been doing this almost 10 years. But before that, I was teaching for a long time. And I started playing piano when I was about 5. So anyway, I've been doing this piano stuff for a long time because it's a ton of fun. And I think if you jump into it and you don't get too bummed out about the things you can't do, but just have fun with the things you can do, you'll probably want to do it for a long time too. Well, I've got some secret information for you. Let's tell you right now.
Secret information.
And today, in our top secret information folder, we have some information about this week's song. The first thing is, oh yeah, this thing right here. So there's a name for the thing that's happening right here. This is called, a lot of times in the lesson, I'll call it a side step, because we're playing a note and then we just like step off to the side and come right back. Well, that's the non-technical name for it, but honestly, the technical name for it is not much more technical. It's called a neighbor tone, because these two notes are like neighbors. So whenever you have some note and you go away and you come right back, it's like you visited your neighbor's house and you came right back. So that's called a neighbor tone, what we often call a sidestep. By the way, later on, we're gonna sidestep this whole thing. We're gonna play a bunch of notes all at the same time. We're gonna sidestep all of them. And so every single one of the notes that we're playing is gonna have a neighbor tone. So neighbor tone's a technical term, but again, that's secret information. Not everybody has to know that. The second thing, the last thing that we have in our secret information folder today is that this last thing, okay, most people who are in Clapple Academy, like even up to level 4 and 5, don't even know this next thing. This is a tool that we call a reharmonization tool. Okay, yeah, okay. So then this thing right here is actually a set of notes that you can use at the end of almost any song. In fact, these ones right here, if you play this, I'll play them all at the same time. You'll need to use your thumb at the bottom and your pinky at the top and try to fill in those ones. That thing to that thing, and then the final note right there. If you play them all at the same time, we call that thing right there a backdoor dominant. It doesn't seem like it fit in because most of the songs we play are all white notes, and this one includes a black note. But trust me, try any other song, and right before the end, mess around with those notes. You can go either direction. You can play them at the same time. Right before the end of the song, it's gonna sound pretty cool. That's called a backdoor dominant. Actually, Kendra likes to use that a lot on the songs that she writes too. So you'll end up hearing backdoor dominants all over the place if you start getting used to playing that thing right there before the end of your song. It's really super pretty. Well, that's all the secret information that we have from the folder, but we still haven't told you who won this week's raffle. Maybe it's you. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.